For battery,
turn around.
balance.
Put your hands behind your back.
You got handcuffs?
According to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, Gervonta Davis was taken into custody after a sudden court hearing and will now serve the rest of his 3-month sentence in jail. WJZ is working to confirm why his sentencing was changed. This was another tough moment for Davis, who collapsed in court after receiving new punishment for another violation. A Baltimore court charged the boxing champion with 2 offenses, one related to his hit-and-run case from years ago. Davis had not taken his previous punishment seriously, putting him at risk of another sentence. In addition, Davis faced bribery allegations after a leaked recording allegedly captured a conversation between him and referee Steve Willis during his last fight. While there were many debates about the issue, his lawyers argued that the New York State Athletic Commission had dismissed the case, making it irrelevant. Davis defended his WBA lightweight title at the Barclays Center in New York on March 1st. Many fans expected an easy win for him, but the fight didn't go as planned. Roach performed well throughout, leading to a controversial moment in the 9th round. Davis took a knee and went to his corner. The referee started counting but then decided not to rule it as a knockdown. Later, Davis said he did it because grease got in his eye. The fight ended in a majority draw. The judges scored it 115-113 for Davis and 114-114 twice. If Roach had been awarded a 10-8 round in the 9th, he would have won the WBA lightweight title.
When Tank did that when he took the knee, what do you think when he took the knee?
I can't speak.
Can't speak on that?
Yes.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak.
No personal opinion, nothing?
Yeah, especially you.
It has now been revealed what Roach said to the referee during the controversial moment, making it clear what he believed should have happened. "Keep counting. Keep counting," Roach told the referee. He later explained his thoughts during the incident. "The referee started counting, but then I saw Davis get up and go to a corner. I was confused. I was focused on the referee counting, but when I looked at Davis in the corner, I thought, what is going on? I wanted it to be ruled a knockdown because it should have been. I asked the referee, why did you stop counting?
Hey, come on now. We're trying to get it.
Roach's team filed an official appeal to overturn the verdict, but the New York State Athletic Commission ruled that the result would stand. Still, Lamont Roach Jr.'s confidence is sky high. You'd think he'd quiet down after his appeal was denied, but is still calling out Tank Davis every chance he gets. The frustration is understandable, but at this point, both sides want a rematch, so just sign the contract and settle it in the ring, right? Well, it looks like there's some trash talk to get through before that happens.
Davis. And, Your Honor, Mr. Hassett and I, assuming the court finds probable cause, we have an agreement.
Good morning, Judge Kenneth Hassett.
And it's not just about the fight anymore. A few days ago, Lamont Roach Jr. got into an online argument with another boxer, Lorenzo Simpson, who backed Gervonta Davis. Simpson claimed that Tank would knock Roach out in a rematch. Instead of keeping things cool, Roach tried to flex his wealth, throwing down a $250,000 bet. He said, "Yayeri, $250K. Just like I bet your role model. If you can show it to me, we good money, little guy." Roach is full of confidence, no doubt, but now he's taking it even further. Just a few hours ago, he casually threatened Davis in an Instagram post. Ring magazine even highlighted Roach's latest post, adding more fuel to the fire.
Y'all for niggas and not wishing not paying. Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is crazy. So we elsewhere with that shit.
Lamont Roach Jr. hinted at a rematch with Gervonta Davis in an Instagram post today. In the caption, the 25-1 boxer wrote, "I showed that I was a pound-for-pound talent against a generational star in the sport. I was born a star, but on March 1st, a star was finally under the microscope of the world. I can't wait to run it back and put on a show again." But why does Roach believe he's a pound-for-pound talent? Well, for starters, everyone saw that 9th round moment when Gervonta Davis took a knee. Tank insists it wasn't from a punch but a mix of hair grease and sweat that got in his eye, forcing him to drop. Some fans bought that excuse, but plenty of others gave Roach credit for what they saw as a non-official knockdown.
Just off the top, man, I was, a little disappointed. Just for the sake of boxing itself, and obviously my result for the fight. I think.
But is that one moment enough for Roach to believe he's better than Davis? Probably not. Another reason for his sky-high confidence could be Ring Magazine's latest pound-for-pound rankings. Devin Haney took Davis' spot, and ESPN now ranks Roach at No. 6 in the 135-pound division. That kind of recognition can definitely boost a fighter's ego. Now, what about Gervonta Davis? Is he doing anything about all this? Yes and no. After initially saying he wanted the rematch by the end of May, Tank has gone completely silent, unusual for him. He's usually quick with the trash talk, but this time, the 30-year-old has kept quiet. And when a fighter like Davis goes silent, it usually means he's cooking up something big.
Like, the key that they pointed out the things that were actually done wrong, and there's still no movement to overturn the fight. Just really saddened me a little bit, but I wasn't too hung.
If this rematch happens, and Roach promoter, Gary Jonas, insists it will, it might finally deliver the fireworks fans expected the first time. But the real question is Tank planning a stronger comeback, or is he eyeing the exit door? Gervonta Davis has already hinted that he has only 3 or 4 fights left before retirement. And let's be real, if he's nearing the end, he'll be chasing the biggest payday possible. Now, think about it. Does a rematch with a relatively unknown name like Lamont Roach Jr. bring in the kind of money he wants? Or would he make way more by securing fights with bigger names like Shakur Stevenson?
Decision of the New York State Athletic Commission, I kind of accepted my fate just a little bit. I had a lot of hope though. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of hope, but...
Funny enough, Tank originally dismissed Roach, saying he hadn't done enough for the sport of boxing. But in a recent sit-down with NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, he suddenly seemed open to the idea. A rematch with Ryan Garcia would also be a huge payday, but that won't happen anytime soon. First, Garcia has to get past Rolando Romero on May 2nd. If he wins, he's got Devin Haney waiting, assuming Haney beats Jose Carlos Ramirez that same night. So Tank versus Garcia too? It's possible, but it's going to take time. Time that Tank may not have to spare, as Roach has been all over him, even while he's been dealing with his legal troubles.
In my view, that I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just.
A Baltimore judge spared WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis from jail time on Wednesday after he admitted to violating his probation for a hit-and-run that injured 4 people, including a pregnant woman. Circuit Judge A. Lirem Handy instead extended Davis' probation by 18 months and ordered him to donate $1,000 to the Community Assistance Network. The 30-year-old, now living in Parkland, Florida, admitted to leaving the state without approval. His Maryland probation officer happened to spot him eating dinner on January 22nd at Proper Cuisine, a restaurant in downtown Baltimore, less than half a mile from the city's courthouses. Judge Handy noted that Davis' probation officer in Florida had been lenient, even approving travel passes for him to visit the U.S. Virgin Islands twice.
We elsewhere with that shit, and niggas dick eating like they start, like, come on. When I start wearing chrome heavy and showing shit off, and that's when niggas start wearing.
Judge Handy also noted that she had granted Davis permission to attend the 2024 Paris Olympic Games to support and advise Team USA Boxing. However, she denied his request to travel to Japan for his 30th birthday. At the same time, Handy questioned what more jail time would accomplish. "I don't like sending anyone to jail, sir. I really don't," she told Davis. "But you need to wake up, please." She later added, "I don't ever want to see you in court again." Davis, a Baltimore boxing champion, was originally sentenced to 90 days of home detention for his 2020 hit-and-run case.
The home detention, people, I listened to everybody to the T. She's mad that I bought a property, that's why I'm sitting in jail.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Davis pleads guilty in hit-and-run case. The hearing marked the latest chapter in the legal saga of Davis, who grew up in West Baltimore and holds an impressive 30-1 record. He recently retained his title after fighting Lamont Roach to a majority draw. Davis pleaded guilty in 2023 in Baltimore Circuit Court to 4 traffic offenses related to the hit-and-run. The crash occurred around 2 a.m. on November 5, 2020, when he ran a red light at Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Washington Boulevard. His 2020 Lamborghini Urus crashed into a 2004 Toyota Solara before slamming into the fence of a 7-Eleven.
I shouldn't. She wanted me to be in an apartment, a one-bed apartment.
Judge Handy initially sentenced Gervonta Davis to 90 days of home detention and 3 years of probation, citing his consistent pattern of disregarding the law. He was supposed to serve his sentence at the home of his longtime coach and trainer, Calvin Ford. However, Handy later revoked his home detention after discovering that Davis had instead been staying at a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse condo in Locust Point. In a now-deleted Instagram Live, Davis criticized Handy, calling her crazy and claiming, "She locked me up because, basically, I bought a property."
You know what I mean? And I couldn't even, you know what I mean, take that. You know what I mean? She wanted me to stay in a one-bed apartment and have my kids and nothing to come with me and things like that. I just want to spread light on this situation because
Davis spent more than 6 weeks in jail before Wednesday's hearing, where both of his probation agents recommended more jail time. Kia Yangzi, his Maryland probation agent, said she often had to reach out to his team or attorney just to get in touch with him. Judge Handy responded, "He's a grown man. I don't understand." Assistant State's Attorney David Owens, head of the misdemeanor jury trial unit, said he discussed the case with Baltimore State's Attorney Ivan Bates and proposed a $5,000 fine.
Court finds probable cause.
And Your Honor, we agreed to a $1,000 bond, no victim contact if that's acceptable to the court.
Okay.
Judge Handy questioned why Assistant State's Attorney David Owens had spoken to State's Attorney Ivan Bates about the case. Owens responded that Bates had assigned him to it and that he was now requesting a $25,000 fine. Period. Handy asked. Yes, Owens confirmed. Davis' attorney, Hunter Pruitt, urged the judge to spare his client from jail, arguing that Davis had completed all special probation requirements and had given back to the community in multiple ways.
No bond, no contact. Have a good day.
Happy holidays, Judge. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Pruitt acknowledged that Davis' decision was regrettable, but argued that it wasn't meant to be illegal. He was training, he added. Davis apologized for his actions, insisting that he had been focused on training. However, Judge Handy pointed out that his Maryland probation agent had spotted him at a restaurant with a group of people. "You weren't training," she said. "You were out celebrating." Davis clarified that he had been training in Washington, D.C., but had gone to Baltimore for dinner. After 2 separate discussions at the bench, Handy delivered her final sentence.
I want to do the clone shit heavy. Dick eaters. And I'm selling all my shit too.
Judge Handy jokingly said the only reason she'd want to see Davis back in her courtroom is if he went to law school and became an attorney. Meanwhile, in the ring, Davis' habit of starting slow nearly cost him on Saturday night. His WBA lightweight title defense against Lamont Roach Jr. ended in a majority draw, leaving a sold-out crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn stunned. While he retained his title, it was a fight Davis would likely rather forget. Two judges scored the fight 114-114, while the third had it 115-113 for Davis. ESPN also had it 114-114. "Lamont is a great fighter," Davis said after the fight. "He's got skills, like I said before. He's got punching power. It was a lesson. Hopefully, we can run it back." One of the most bizarre moments of the fight came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee after being touched by a jab. Referee Steve Willis chose not to score it as a knockdown for Roach. Davis later explained that grease from his hair had gotten into his eye, forcing him to take a knee. Since no knockdown was called, the fight continued without penalty, but had it been counted, it could have swung the fight in Roach's favor.
But, I went back and I watched it, and Tank lost that fight, period. And that's even without the knockdown, he lost.
Had the knockdown been counted, Roach could have won the 9th round 10-8, which might have given him the victory. Instead, 2 judges scored the round 10-9 for Davis. I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my hair, Davis explained. When I was sweating, it burned my eyes. Roach didn't argue with Davis' explanation but made it clear that the rules should have been followed. If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown, Roach said. If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. But I'm not banking on that. I just thought I did enough to pull it out.
The fight. Yeah, just didn't do enough work. Didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was man.
Davis came into the fight as a heavy favorite, with many expecting him to secure his 29th career knockout against Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. Fighting in front of a pro-Davis crowd, Tank couldn't deliver the highlight reel finish fans have come to expect. Instead, Roach stood his ground, absorbed Davis' power shots, and fired back with punches that stunned both Davis and the crowd. Known for his patience, Davis started slow, waiting for Roach to make a mistake he could capitalize on. But Roach didn't give Davis the opening he was looking for and stayed aggressive. Davis smiled and talked to Roach early in the fight, but as the rounds went on, he had to get serious when he realized his opponent wasn't going to crumble under pressure. Roach, 29, had faced Davis in the amateurs and came up short back then, but this time, he proved he belonged on the big stage.
Like Lamont definitely won. Alright, G. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, it is what it is type shit, you know? I ain't hating on the decision.
After turning pro, their careers took different paths. Davis became one of boxing's biggest stars, while Roach built a reputation as a solid fighter but fell short in his only other world title shot, a loss to Jamal Herring for the WBO Super Featherweight title in 2019. Davis' rise to stardom peaked with his knockout win over Ryan Garcia in 2023, a victory that solidified his claim as the face of boxing. But against Roach, he nearly let that title slip away with an underwhelming performance. Their shared history may have given Davis a false sense of confidence going into the fight, but Roach came well prepared for everything Tank had to offer, including his devastating knockout power.
It was a great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know? All that good stuff. You know, it was a draw. At the end of the day, people are unsatisfied. You know, I feel like, I always keep it a buck.
I'm just a little disappointed in the decision, Roach said. I thought I pulled it out, but that's what happens when two skilled fighters go at it. I definitely thought I won, but we can run it back. Even though I didn't get the win tonight, I still feel like I did in my book. But we're not satisfied. We need a real W. And that's all for now. For the latest updates on boxing news, moments, events, and highlights, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content. Until next time, peace out.